Welcome into the Scene Project Sports Network. You are here today for the Saturday Cut Line edition. We are celebrating the Cadillac Championship this weekend. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Pods. What's happening, Pods?
Not much. Glad to be back. Last week, our schedules just didn't line up, and I was on the bench on the IR. So,
Well, yeah, that's okay. I mean, we're going to try to hit as many of these as we can and really focusing on, mostly the solo tournaments last week, the Zurich Classic. A great tournament, a really cool one, but a little tough for us to cover. Obviously, you sustaining a little bit of an injury and me being out of town. But nevertheless, we are back this week and excited about this, seeing some good golf out there. Cameron Young at 13 under is the leader right now heading into the weekend, playing some good golf. I mean, Cam has really been playing well, obviously won the Players and then going into the Masters, in that final grouping. So not surprising to see him at the top of the leaderboard this weekend.
no, he's always there hunting. And I think that if he can pull off this win here at the Cadillac, it's probably going to be some much needed momentum going into the next major, which I think is either the PGA or the US Open. I want to say it's the PGA Championship, though, coming up. I think. I don't know. It's either that or the US Open. Because the summer's
Yeah.
always the Open.
Yeah, well, and we're going to get to a lot of that and can't wait to cover more of the major tournaments as we get out there. Obviously, we don't want to bury the lead. We're going to get more into the tournament as we go, but kicking off the tee box here. Let's not bury the lead. There's been a lot of talk, obviously, about LIV Golf this week and the fallout of the PIF investment gaining. Would love to know your thoughts on the future of LIV Golf and if they can recover from this funding snafu.
Okay, real quick, just on the tee box here, before I get into LIV, shout out to the Fitzpatrick brothers for winning the Zurich Classic. That's awesome. There is no future going forward. There really isn't, because you're going to have to find another private equity fund that's going to invest in golf, which there's a lot that would like to do that, and there's a lot of suitors for that. But the problem is that you had the Saudi money attached to it. You had Greg Norman attached to it. You came out of the gates. You tried to poach some of the best players that they had, and you were trying to take the PGA down. And now with all the conflict going on in the Middle East and the problems, the Saudis looked at it and said, you know what? It's just not worth putting money into something we're not seeing any profit from. It's not really been a great venture in the United States. It's done great in other parts of the world like South Africa, Adelaide. They do great globally, but there's the DP World Tour that does even better, and they've had more time to, get their roots in, and they have an established relationship with the PGA. So there's no hostility there. I really don't think they find any funding, especially after this PIF ends at the end of the season in June, I believe. Even though they pushed an event back to July, I don't see them getting money together to be a major competition. If anything, they become a feeder, tour to people aspiring to get to the PGA or the DP World Tour in this case.
Well, and I don't know if they're considering that as a option to kind of change the model a little bit for what they are. I still think there's viable. I don't think you can guarantee the money and the contracts that they did, and it seems like they would actually be more at, like, to keep it going, they would have to honor the long-term contracts that they have signed, where if they fold it and just come back as something new, that possibly a future for another league. But I think LIV Golf as it is, they're just kind of sunk. Like you said, without that funding, there's no real I heard some other pundits saying, time for the players to kind of put their money where their mouth is if they want to fund this and to go out there and do it. But it doesn't seem like they were really, courting a lot of other corporate sponsorships and in that world, right? Kind of banking on that Saudi money and thinking that they had that to go out there. I don't think that the product they put out was terrible, right? But you're already having some scheduling issues with the New Orleans event and then trying to push it out there. And it just doesn't seem like there was enough foresight on theirs for your worst case scenario.
Well,
right.
I don't think it's a coincidence either that as soon as the PIF gets mentioned of being pulled, which it's officially been pulled now, like that's done. Like it's over. The PIF is gone. So they have the funding from whatever they gave them until the end of this season, and then after that, no more money from that private investment fund.
And I mean, your biggest issue now is that, you have this money that was promised out to these, these top players that you kind of poached out from the PGA. And now they're all in a position where they've kind of missed that grace period to come back. And a lot of these guys are going to have to requalify and whatever that looks like. I would be surprised if the PGA kind of gives any grace to these players. They were already given that once and kind of, some of them have turned it down. So interesting to see what the fallout is going to be from this. I won't necessarily say that I feel sorry for anyone. Everyone makes their own decisions out there. We've talked about the difference between it. So
I will say this. I do feel sorry for the players because I can sit here and be a moral arbiter and whatnot and say, oh, the Saudi money, blood money, da-da-da-da. But if someone offered me $250 million up front to play, that's money that could change my family's life. Like, yeah, I'm taking the money. Say what you want about me. Say I sold out. Because you take an average PGA fan, and I love the PGA Tour as well, but you take an average PGA fan and you put them in that same position, say it's not 250, say it's just a middle of the pack player to fill out one of these teams. Say it's a $5 million contract. You're telling me you're not going to take $5 million guaranteed? You know you're taking that money. And all the golf purists, and I'm going to say this too, some of the people who comment on the Golf Channel and some of the people who comment on ESPN, like your Trey Wingos, and I love him, but Rich Eisen and Brock, like, you guys are just so giddy to see a golf league die just because it was connected to the Saudis and Greg Norman. It's not going to make the game any better. And like Trey Wingo came out and he's like, oh, they play golf in their shorts and they have loud music and they have teams. Like, I'm not watching that. And it's like, and you're part of the problem why the PGA isn't garnering any new viewers. Like, we need new blood in the PGA Tour. We need new ideas. We need momentum. We can't keep being this good old boys sport. We're never going to get, to the levels of I'm not saying we'll get to the levels of the NFL, but like, we could easily be at the level of the NBA, but we have nobody in charge who's going forward and saying, that Zurich Classic, we could make a whole league that's based on team play for the players who don't really get to compete that often, who are sitting there as alternates, and now they're getting more reps in, and the tour is getting more exposure. Like, anything and everything to grow the game, I feel like the PGA just turn their nose at.
Yeah, well, and I think that, they have shrunk the tour down to get more. They have adjusted out of necessity of having LIV out there. So I think as a disruptor, even though it won't go on as a league, as a disruptor, it did force the PGA to take a good look at themselves and to make some adjustments, to look at their league and their product and to say, what can we do better? It will be interesting to see if there's something else that spawns from this. And I think a lot of your other corporate sponsors, probably because of the Saudi money, stayed away. And your thoughts on that? It just kind of, do you think that there is an opening now for, like I said, a new league to kind of come out of this that treats itself as more of to not come in and try to say that we're going to take down the PGA. I don't think that that's going to happen. You have a very established product there, but I do think there's an opening, and maybe that is, the door is wide open for, the Bryan brothers and Grant with your golf league to come in here and to shake things up and to provide more opportunities for golfers that are out there, and to have to grow the game of golf, which I think has always been the underlining mission of a Bryson DeChambeau or Grant Horvat or any of these channels, to grow that game.
Grant Horvat and Wesley Bryan and George Bryan, they recently just released a 2-episode thing where they actually hosted an event between 8 top-level creators for a spot on a PGA Tour I think it was a Q School event or an Pro-Am event. And they did that with the Bryan brothers. So Wesley is actually kind of working with the PGA right now. He got permission to do that in South Carolina. So I don't think the Bryan brothers or Grant Horvat are going to have any interest in salvaging LIV, because I think they all want to get to the tour and be in the tour's good graces, which is fine. I think the tour should listen.
More what I was saying, Pods, is that they become that secondary league, right?
I think they already are.
Yeah, in some ways you have this new feeder, and maybe it expands their product, that there isn't necessarily a salvaging of LIV. I think that business-wise, they have to kind of let it die, because if someone
LIV's just got to go
and keep it going, you would have to pay out those contracts.
Yeah.
So you have to let it die, just as a business, to avoid you're not going to come in and pay all those contracts. It just doesn't.
They're going to go solvent and bankrupt. It's just going to have to happen that way. And then how the settlement gets done between the players, I say John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau. They can pay everybody else, but those are their 2 biggest contracts on the books, is those 2. I think the problem, though, that I have is LIV is going to have to go. It has to die, because it's not even LIV golf anymore, outside of the team aspect and the music. Because, Bubba, do you know what LIV stands for?
No.
It's Roman numerals LIV, 54. Because LIV Golf, when it first started, was 54 holes of golf. It was 3 rounds. It wasn't 4. Now they've switched to 72, so they're not even their own brand anymore. Because they had to switch to 72 holes to get OWGR ratings, to get golf, world golf rankings. And it doesn't even go to the whole people who participate in that tournament. It only goes to the top 10 finishers, because they recognize the competition is lesser than the PGA. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a fun experiment. I think it, as a disruptor, that it did
great.
It did great. It exposed some things in the PGA, and maybe exposed a lot of new people to golf that are going to come in and follow the game. And it really, what it seemed to have done is to kind of crack that door wide open for your golf league, and to bring that out.
I credit LIV Golf with creating YouTube golf at this point. I really do. Now, the other thing is, too, and I think we can probably, put a bookmark on it, or whatever the saying is for this. I think LIV has to be a lesson to the PGA, and not an arrogance. This is going to be test. If they're going to take LIV as, their whole 5 years that we've had LIV, if they're going to take it as a lesson, or if the PGA Tour and the old boys club is going to show their ugly nose and their arrogance again, and go, well, now that the competition's out of the way, we'll go back to doing things the way we did, because then they're going to look at it as, a monopoly again. And that's the problem I have with the PGA Tour, is you talk about LIV being a disruptor, making them change things. Well, what's making them going to change now they have no competition again?
But I think you've already, because you can't go back, right? You can't put the toothpaste back into the tube, and you can see the influence of YouTube golf, a younger generation of golfers in even the Masters. Look at the ESPN coverage of the Masters, and you can point to that as a byproduct of what LIV and YouTube golf.
It was more
in
lively
general
during the
golf.
Masters. I think a lot of the problem, like, I love covering great golf. I can sit there through the golf, but you know what? I'm not a casual viewer. I am a hardcore golf fan. I am a golfer myself. I can sit through 4 or 5 hours of a golf tournament on television. The average person can't because it's not entertaining enough. You have quiet people whispering the shots, and it's like, it just looks boring to the normal person. It's like me trying to watch 9 innings of baseball. I love baseball. I watch baseball. But if I have the chance to watch the highlights, the only team I'm watching is the Dodgers in a full game. I love my Royals, but they're too buns right now for me to even sit there and try to watch 6 innings of that. So
I think that rings true. A lot of my baseball watching the Cubs, I'm not watching every pitch of every game either. And it's really hard to do that. I thought the coverage of the Masters, where you had the online presence that they had, and that's where
I thought it was spectacular.
Right off of the Masters, website. And granted, you're talking about a massive operation there. I thought the production was done right, and I think there's things that can be learned for maybe some of these other, especially not the mass, but the major tournaments. To have that kind of coverage is key, because you can follow one group around, or you're following, a certain set of holes, right? You have Amen Corner that is the most entertaining, and pieces to the Masters tournament. I thought it was well done, and I think there's a lot that can be gained from it. I mean, you look at the success of the Waste Management tournament, right? And what that excitement brings, and the newer fans, the younger fans, and granted, it's probably like a little out of control.
It's really out of control.
Hey, that's
I think
why
they had more arrests this year than they did the last
time.
couple of years combined.
Yeah, well, you know what? You have to be open. You have to bring in these fans. You have to understand that the game of golf has changed. It is not a buttoned down, old man's game anymore. You have a lot of younger people like you and I that are playing the game.
With that said, Bubba, I have one last thing to say.
Okay.
For the love of God, let the boys wear shorts when it's 110 in Arizona. It's summer. Let them wear nice shorts. There's these things. Hold on, ready? There's these things right here. They're called golf shorts. They're nice. They look presentable.
Pod showing some leg on the scratch project today. I love it. Well, let's move on. C'est la vie to LIV Golf. Enjoy the last.
It was nice to know you when it was here.
Yeah. It was cool to see something a little bit different, but now sadly it's coming to a close, and we can take it from there. So let's move into the next segment. We're going to move on to the cut line and talk about the tournament.
Tournament.
Yeah, we have the Cadillac Championship this week, and Cameron Young, we mentioned off the top, leading in the clubhouse right now before he starts his round at 13 under, playing some incredible golf right now. I'm going to take a quick gander at the entire leaderboard with everyone here. Bring that up.
It's Cam Young, 13. You got I think it's like three or four players tied for second, and then you've got 6 players tied for 6th. And Gary Woodland's got 5th outright.
There we go. Add to the stage. And get that up here. Bring it around. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. We appreciate you. Make sure you give a subscribe and a follow to everything that we're doing. We appreciate this, but here is the the rundown here. Taylor Spieth in there. I mean, how does this guy not scare you, right? Getting ready to hit the course here in just
I don't know, but
minutes.
if I was Cam, I'd be going and having a chat with Matt Fitzpatrick right about now.
Yeah, hard to hold him off, and Fitzpatrick gave everything he had 2 weeks ago in there, kind of just glancing over. Is there anyone besides a Scheffler? You have is it the younger Fitzpatrick, Alex,
That's the brother Alex. Yep.
charging in here? Spieth shot a really good first round, but not so much in his second uh of the weekend. Is there anyone on here that you see? I know Siwoo's been swinging it really well lately too. Is there anyone else kind of in this top, from this line? I feel like if below here, you're going to have a lot of trouble catching up to minus 13 without,
The
Cam
only
just
person
completely
I could
crapping the
see
bed.
outside of Scotty Scheffler catching the top, catch it. Let's just say catching Cam, because at this point it's Cam's tournament to lose. I'd say the only person who has an outside chance of catching him besides Scheffler is either going to be Siwoo Kim. And if you could scroll down a little bit for me, is either Siwoo Kim, and this one's kind of sneaky for me because you never know what you're going to get from him, but he plays some pretty good golf, is Yelamaru right there, the Titleist athlete.
Awesome. Well, we got a couple to watch on there. This thing is far from over, as we have seen, especially going back to the RBC, where you thought it was
But
kind of Matt's
yeah,
locked up on Friday and Saturday, and here comes Scotty Scheffler. So not over yet, but a lot of great golf here to come.
I
Excited
really
about
do
it.
think it's between those three guys. I think it's between Cam and Scotty and maybe Siwoo and Yelamaru, because I don't think Nick. I hope Nick can finish the tournament and be in contention because he's a good player. Shout out to the Canada's finest. But that back injury that he was nursing, it really has me concerned, because last time we saw somebody, midway through even make the cut, get a back injury, they had to withdraw, a la Tiger Woods. And then on the Masters back in April, early April, you had Colin Morikawa go out. These back issues are nothing to joke about. Like, that's almost like the worst thing you can see on a golfer. There's three things you don't want to see a golfer grab: his lower back, his knee, or his wrist. Because one of those is going to end your tournament. It could end your season, depending on how bad it is.
Right. Yeah, and especially a back injury that can have, career ramifications, and we've seen that with the greatest out there. So yeah, never want to see anyone injured, and especially in this sport, in this league, it can just be so life-changing because of the business of the PGA and the way that it's set up, that it can end it. And I actually had a great conversation. I recommend everybody go and check out my conversation with PGA professional Jason Prendergast. But he was a PGA pro for 3 decades nearly, and we talked about the identity crisis, right, of kind of leaving, and who are you once that title isn't there. And for some of these guys, when you have a career shortened by injury, it can be very hard to deal with. It can be very hard to recover from that. So always want to see people do well. We never want to see guys injured, I think, in any sport that we cover here at the network, and especially when it has the kind of ramifications that consecutive back surgeries and that can bring to a player, and the way it can quickly end someone's career. It's really a shame to see that.
It really is, because I know he's got some controversy right now, and to be honest, I don't feel too bad for him because he makes his own decision. He's a big boy. But can you imagine how many more years of dominance we would have gotten if it wasn't for Tiger's back and knee injuries and the surgeries?
It would have been completely different, right? It would change the whole game.
I think if Tiger doesn't get those back injuries and those knee surgeries, we're talking about a player who has 22 majors to his name.
Yeah, change the whole sport in a lot of ways. in a lot of ways. Hey, what do you think about the course? Or they're at Doral this week, right?
First time they've been there in almost a decade. The course looks beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of water to go over there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is a very hazardous course. I could easily see myself shooting about a 140 there. And that's not even the score on the golf card. That's just going to be the amount of money I'm going to have to pay to get a new, pack of balls. And by the time I'm done, I've probably gone through at least 8 to 12 sleeves with how much water's there. So
yeah, beautiful course though. Looks like the weather's been absolutely gorgeous too. Here in South Dakota, we just can't seem to warm up. We had a couple of days in April that were in the 80s and even the low 90s, and now we're back into like 60s and 70s for a high. So we're still not
I
really
know
sniffing the course.
out here in
Unfortunately,
out here in SoCal, we've been having pretty steady weather now for the last couple days, but last week, thankfully, even though I was injured and it kind of sucked, it wasn't golfing weather anyway. We were having gale winds and it was cold, and I don't know, man. Just Mother Nature does not want to cooperate with the golf season right now.
no, we're ready. Hopefully that means we'll get an extra month at the end of the season, right? If I could be
Right.
golfing in November, that's just as good to me as golfing in March and April. So excited about finally getting on the course and doing a lot more. I want to shout out our sponsor, Skunked Golf Company, and the Skunked Classic coming up June 27th. If you are out here, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and watching for the first time today, we would love it if you guys joined us out at the Skunked Golf Classic. I think it's going to be an awesome time. Charity tournament. Really excited to have a great time with all of our friends at Skunked Golf. Trying to find the flyer here. I seem to have misplaced it.
I think it goes along the lines, if you're playing stinky, at least you can look great.
Yeah, look good even if your game stinks, right? So we're excited about that. Let's get a quick word from Skunked, and we'll come back and hit the lighter side of golf with my guy Pods. Got to show some love to our friends over at Skunked Golf Company. If you've ever stepped onto the course and thought, man, my game might not be it today, don't worry. They've already got you covered. Skunked is all about one thing, looking good, even if your game stinks. And right now is the time to jump in, because they're celebrating their 2-year anniversary sale, which means you can grab some of the cleanest golf gear out there without breaking the bank. Go to their website and use code STAYSTINKY to get 20% off on hats, polos, and gear that actually turns heads on the course, even if your scorecard doesn't. Don't miss the Skunked Golf Classic Tournament happening June 27th in Minot, North Dakota. It's not just a tournament, it's a whole vibe. Good people, good golf, and let's be honest, probably a few questionable swings. It's all for charity. Join us June 27th in Minot. So whether you're scratch or just scratching your head trying to find your ball in the rough, check out Skunked Golf Company. Take advantage of that anniversary sale and get yourself ready for the Skunked Classic. Skunked Golf. Look good, even if your game stinks. Always appreciative of the team over there at Skunked Golf. You can use our code or our link to get some great gear there. Pods, yours is in the mail, I promise, brother. I know that we got I got mine on, right? I got my retro hat and I got the polo on today. I know B and our other co-host Cody, I'm pretty sure, got theirs in the mail just yesterday. So keep an eye peeled for yours coming soon.
I hope I get your hat. The Vice hat looks so sick.
It's pretty awesome. I enjoy it. I can't wait to get it out on the course. We've been talking with the Veteran Golf Association. Obviously, you guys can see behind me Operation Combating Veteran Suicide, a foundation near and dear to my heart. I'm also the director of marketing and PR. So I've been reaching out to a lot of other organizations out there, and the Veteran Golf Association is a great nationwide, and we've been in contact with our South Dakota chapter to tag along on a few of their events this year. So really grateful for that opportunity to go out there, take the Skunked brand with us, also CVS, and to continue bringing people together. And I think that's what the Scene Project Sports Network is really all about, building out that community and, having an opportunity to spread the game of golf, especially here in the upper Midwest. Pod, should we move into our final segment?
I don't know. Should we?
I think so. You got some videos to share with me? This is the 19th Green, guys. This is our weekly chance to see the lighter side of golf. Sometimes that'll be ourselves or other co-hosts who join in with us and sharing some of their videos. Pods, can I cruise your Instagram?
You can cruise my Instagram or my YouTube. I do not care.
YouTube. Go ahead. Give us a little preview, I guess, Pods, of what we can expect from this segment, and I'll go dig up some videos for us.
Well, here on the 19th Green, we like to do promotion of sometimes ourselves, a small videos, some things that we're doing. In other cases, we like to shout out others. Like, I know that Shady is going to be in here at some point in the next couple of weeks, I hope, because, you know, he's got a knowledge of golf as well. He's got a plethora of it. I know Shady's been getting lessons. I was actually watching a video of how his instructor was trying to explain to him how power pitching, because he used to play baseball as a pitcher, can actually translate to a stronger golf swing, and how he already has a basic understanding of the mechanics from baseball to golf. Because there was one thing that Shady was saying about when he throws the baseball, even though it's 60 feet, 6 inches, when he actually gets fully extended and out there, it's more like 54 feet because of how his mechanics work. So getting to see him hit and see how Shady's doing it, even on a bad hip, it's really awesome. And then you might get to see some other stuff too. I'm sure Bubba's got some things that he's going to post when he finally gets a chance to get out there on the course. Maybe a couple videos of his wife, you know, draining a few putts like the eagle eye she is.
Well, we're going to have a lot of content. I hope it's not the first time I get to hit the course in June for the Skunked Classic, but we got some great stuff coming. So got onto your YouTube here. Make sure that I'm sharing the sound from there as well.
Oh, that is an oldie, bro. That is
when
I was really heavy.
I find on here.
I do a lot of my stuff in shorts, but if you want to see how I used to swing it, go ahead.
Yeah, well, let's get a little preview of what we can expect.
Man, I think you picked the one video where I got absolutely destroyed on the course. That's when I had my old Spider just watching me. This is the perfect thing for Skunked and Shank It right there, man. Many trees fell victim this day. Oh, man, this was like... Oh, this had to be like November, December. Wow. My swing looks so much better now then. Oh, I'm getting like firsthand embarrassment from watching how I used to swing the golf club.
I wanted the people to feel better who are watching us, knowing that, you know, we're just a couple of guys, right? Love the game of golf. I'm having a blast watching this. I'm gonna be perfectly honest.
I know you are.
But see improvement now, right? This is what we have to look forward to. Didn't read that one very well, buddy.
No, I didn't.
So anyone watching, we would love to have you send in your clips and videos, and we'll play them on here. Send us the highlights. Send us the lowlights. We really don't care. I think this is great.
Send us the video of you just duck hooking one right into a trash can like I have. My most recent short that I have up is me hitting a ball into a house, I'm pretty sure.
I got to go find that one. Hold on. Oh, this is awesome. We're going to go find it.
If you go to my channel, I think there's a tab that says shorts. It should be like the first or second one.
Perfect.
I'm almost certain it's the first or second one.
Oh, man. Nice, Pods. Yeah, you're getting some good views on these too, man. Pause. Hold on. This is funny. You're getting a like from me there too.
You gotta make sure you play the audio with this one.
The thud. Oh, the thud that created was incredible. Oh,
the thud and then the run.
Babe, get in the cart. We got to go.
Right now. We got to go.
Well, we just like to share that to show off our amazing skills. But we love the game of golf. It really doesn't matter how we're shooting out there. We love the camaraderie of the game, the ability.
After that hole, my driver was money too, which is crazy.
You're like, hey, don't record this anymore. And then it's awesome. So, Pods, I appreciate you jumping on with me today, allowing us to share some of your golf content. You guys make sure you go subscribe to his YouTube channel, Pods Plays Golf. Some great stuff over there. The shorts are doing very well, man. So keep up the good work and putting that out there. We hope to see some more long form videos from you as well. And I can't wait to get a chance to come down to sunny Southern California and play around together and shoot some great content around that. I think there's a lot of momentum happening right now around the network and around everything that we're doing. We got some big news on the horizon, waiting for the ink to dry on a few things yet, but we have distribution on some major networks that are coming out, and we'll be getting a lot more views out on the Roku, Amazon, and Apple TV channels. So a lot of great stuff coming from the network. Amazing opportunities abound for us everywhere. So really grateful for you, Pods, joining us, not on this show, but on 789 on Sundays and dipping in occasionally on Tuesday nights for Vikings United as well.
Yeah, just I know this is golf related right now, and we keep it pretty tied to the subject, but how'd you feel about that draft?
I thought the draft went fine. I know a lot of people with the Vikings organization a little stunned by the first round pick at 18. But as you saw the rest of it play out, you could definitely tell that the Minnesota Vikings, especially with we're kind of focused on that. That they had a type of player and a profile that they were going after, people that they liked on that athletic profile. And I think they felt really confident that they were going to get, you had 4-5 picks in the top 100. So 20%, or, a sizable percentage of those top 100 picks, right, were coming your way. So you felt pretty good about what you were getting. And I think that's why you saw maybe a lot of people calling it a reach at 18, but you have only because of injury, right? Before the draft combine, Caleb Banks was, a lot of times,
he'll be fine.
And a top 5 player. And we've had Skull Doc on our friend Rap's channel.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
You take the chance to, I think that you couldn't live with the regret of passing on a physical specimen like that and watching him go somewhere else when you could just make the pick. And then you double down with another defensive tackle later in the third round as well. So I think they did really well. I think this defense of the Minnesota Vikings is going to be incredibly dangerous throughout the season, and forecasting for the next several seasons with some younger talent that you can hopefully get some better quarterback play this year, whether it's from, newcomer Kyler Murray or JJ McCarthy takes a big step forward in his development. It would have to be a pretty sizable step on that side, but you could get, I would say, I don't want to say mediocre, but you could get good enough out of your quarterback play this year and still win 10 games, right? So can you get B plus and really
all Kyler Murray has to do is play just as good as Case Keenum and he'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, really don't turn the ball over becomes the biggest.
But my last thing on this is to anybody who's skeptical about the Vikings reaching at 18, there was no quarterbacks in this class or, that you could reliably say, oh, this guy is going to be it besides Mendoza. So
I think there's a lot of question marks there as well. So, but yeah, if you guys love football talk, come and join us on Tuesday nights at 8. We do a live stream called Vikings United right here on the Scene Project Sports Network. If things keep going the way they are, we're going to have a lot more football to talk about year round, whether it's in the amateur ranks with our coaches show that we do with our local high school team, or it is arena football. We got a lot of cool things coming up. So appreciate you hanging out, Pods. Appreciate you being a part of the network. Everyone tuning in, make sure you follow, subscribe to the channel, check out our sponsors, Skunked Golf Company, skunkedgolfco.com, or you can use the link that I should have dropped in the comments already that have our affiliate link on there.
And come check us out tomorrow when we do 7, 8, 9.
Correct. Let me get this link in here. And
for all my West Coast peoples, that is 4 p.m. our time. Because you guys start at 6, right?
No, it's at 7.
Okay, well. All right. It'll be 5 p.m. West Coast.
There you go.
7 p.m. Central and 8 p.m. East Coast. We hope to see you there.
Awesome. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Enjoy the round from the Cadillac Championship. Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in and tell you about a great new company that we just started working with. Skunked Golf Company out of North Dakota sent us some awesome gear. Man, they got some great stuff, y'all. They got some awesome hats. They sent us some great polo and collared shirts, some t-shirts, skirts for the ladies too, and some sweet visors. Go check them out. Skunked Golf online.